Hi, I'm Tessa and I just started to work for Shell 10 months ago in the Pernis refinery in Rotterdam harbour. I started to work as an energy and process utility technologist. I'm involved in energy savings and wastewater improvement initiatives. I have a background of mechanical engineering. I did a master's in energy and process technology. And for my thesis, I did an internship for Shell. And when I was working there, I realized that I had had so many years of theory and thinking about how to improve things, but still I wanted to know how it worked in practice. Pernis seemed like a very exciting place to me when I first visited it during my internship, and I thought, yeah, that's really a place where I would like to work. So this is it. This is my workplace. It's Pernis Refinery, largest in Europe, one of the most complex in the world. So here in the background you see the crude distillers. They're processing every day 460,000 barrels of oil, and it's the first separation step. Probably doesn't say very much to you. It didn't in the beginning to me either. It's just really big. So what do I really like about my job? You really learn a lot, and in a very different way than how you were used to learn in university. Because in Pernis, the technical challenge is the complexity of it all. You have so many different processes and they're all dependent on each other. And to understand how they depend on what kind of influence they have on each other is really difficult. Okay, so these are the open offices. This is where my team is sitting. The team. This is my working place. And my boss there. Okay. Another thing I learned a lot about is about safety, and especially so-called process safety. What you see when you look at a refinery, you see a whole bunch of steel, and some people might even find it boring to look at. But inside all these pipes, there's product. You really need to learn how to behave in such an environment. So this is what part of my job is all about. It's about water. Water is being used in a refinery to get contaminants out of the oil and to clean the systems, and after that the relatively dirty water is purified in several steps. Now, and when it's finally clean, it's put back into the harbor, as you can see here behind me. Now, in this at the end of this year, we're going to get new legislation for the effluent water, and I'm looking at ways to improve the system to meet the tighter requirements. Another thing that is really challenging in an operational environment is the very different backgrounds of the people you have to work together with. So you have operations, so operators, you have people doing maintenance, replacing valves, you have technologists like me, some having worked in Pernis for 30 years, and some just like me, only for months. Different ages, and yeah, so that sometimes can be quite confronting, because you really get to know yourself and you really learn to be flexible in how you in your working style, because you have to adapt to all these different situations and all these different people and their way of looking at things. And if you are open to that, I think that you can really learn a lot. You get all the different perspectives and points of view. So here we have Astrid, and Astrid is working much closer to operations than I am. And I wondered how you how you felt about it.
Yeah, actually I really like working very close to operations because it's just very nice to work with many different people, with many different backgrounds. It's nice, it's one of the best parts of the job, I think. Yeah.
And you don't experience any downsides of being a young female in that environment?
Yeah, you have it a bit in the beginning when you just come there and they think, oh yeah, she's very young. We have to learn everything her again and again. But
okay, but that's the young part.
Yeah, I think you would also have the same thing if you were a man. Yeah, you see some differences, but again, if you just show them that you're very open, you just work together and that's it. They know you, you know them, and okay, it's quite normal and nice. Yeah.
Hi guys! So, it's been already quite a long day and I'm a little bit tired, but there's this one thing I wanted to share with you before going to sleep. And it's about learning. For me, this mentality of giving real responsibility to graduates, so putting them in a real job, it is a big challenge, but it also has a big advantage. Because you have to go to work every day. And it's just a lot more fun if you know that your work actually matters. And that by doing your daily work, you know that 2 weeks from now, you're gonna know a lot more than today. The initiative really has to come from you. So yes, there are many systems in place to help you developing certain skills. So besides your manager, you have a buddy, you have a mentor, you can have mentoring circles with other young graduates. You have networks such as the Young Shell network with other young people who you can share your experiences with. You have a women's network, and well, all in all, I think there's a good structure there to develop yourself.